Well, good Monday morning, Tabernacle Baptist family and friends. Today is Monday, September the 23rd, and I hope you're looking forward to a great week ahead. And I began thinking about our upcoming revival services, and I've been rereading Scott Pauley's book on revival praying, and the thought of getting ourselves right, of confessing our sin and coming clean with the holy God, and really preparing ourselves for the teaching and preaching of the word here over these next several days. We go to the book of Ezra, chapter number 9, and just a few thoughts here. I've shared these before. They're in Brother Pauley's book on revival praying, but this morning as I reread these things, it helped my own heart. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the land, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. Verse 3, and when I heard this thing, I rent my garment, that they had intermarried, that there was some confusion here going on. I rent my garment and my mantle and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard and sat down astonished. That you see this grief, that the nation, the people had been wayward, and there's this grief. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of God of Israel, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astonished unto the evening sacrifice. At the evening sacrifice I rose up from my heaviness, and having rent my garment, my mantle, I fell upon my knees, and spread out my hands unto the Lord, and said, O my God, I am ashamed and blush to lift up my face to thee, my God, for our iniquities are increased over our head, and our trespass is grown up into the heavens. You know, we've got to admit the sinfulness of our own heart, and that there's confession, and then after confession, there's intercession. Verse 7, since the days of our fathers, we have been in a great trespass unto this day, and our iniquities have we, our kings, our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to the captive, to the spoil, to the confusion of the face, as it is this day. Verse 8, and now for a little space grace hath been showed from the Lord our God, to leave us a remnant to escape, and to give us a nail in this holy place, that our God may enlighten, our God may lighten our eyes, and give us a little reviving in our bondage. The truth is, Ezra looked at his nation, he looked at the people, and he basically says, we're in a mess, and our only hope is in God. And that's where we're at, not only nationally or in America or in the United States. That's where we're at in the local New Testament church. That's where we're at as Christians in our own heart. There needs to be a reviving, a turning back to God, a being honest about our sin in our heart. Our faith and hope must be in God and God alone. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13, evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse. You know, we have some dates marked on the calendar for some revival services next week. That the hardest part of a revival is not necessarily the sermon. The hardest part of a revival is getting our hearts ready. Being prepared, asking God to reveal some shortcomings in our own heart and life, confessing that sin, and being clean and ready to accept the word when it's preached. God often allows disruptions into our life to shake our world and to get us out of our ruts and our routines, to help us rediscover what is truly important in life and eternity. Samuel Chadwick said this, and I'll finish our devotional thought this morning with this quote. It says, the crying sin of the church is her laziness after God. In my mind and heart, as I think of our congregation and as I think of this upcoming revival service, my own heart is stirred. God, would you allow me to be a vessel, to come clean, to confess my sin, that I would have a greater desire to abide and walk with you. And would that be our prayer this week, that we would sincerely seek the Lord and allow His Spirit to draw us close to Himself and eliminate sin and confess our sin and come clean with a holy God. Next week, a great week ahead here at Tabernacle Baptist Church. Looking forward to all that God will do.